It's postponed for another year, so now in this financial year they'll come out with the new rules. But POEM will be applicable from 1/4/16, that means. But under the new rules, whenever they are notified.
Chatty, I think you missed out the point of the listing of the general insurance companies. What's your call on that?
My call is that, see, so what Jaitley could have done was, and this is which most countries do, is an accounting trick where they say, okay, when I dispose of my assets, I will not take it into my revenue, and whatever money I spend on recapitalizing banks, I will not show as an expenditure. So what Jaitley wanted to do probably was, he's getting about 56,000 crores through disinvestment this year, and he's only spending 25,000 crores here, so he wanted to show 25,000 or 30,000 crores profit going into his fiscal deficit. He wanted to control that.
3.5%.
3.5% and 3.9%. Right? He wanted to control those. So maybe he didn't do that, but I think that's a good move. But at the end of the day, what will happen 5 years from now when everything is sold out? All our assets are going to go in 5 years, right? If this is the pace we are going to start disinvesting at.
And they're not creating new assets.
Exactly. New assets, new brands, value is not being created. What will happen next? You start selling the IIMs. ISB, of course, can't be sold because it's a private entity. You're happy with the budget?
The only good thing for us is that, at least the way I look at it is there's been no movement on higher education reforms in the 2 years of the
Right.
one announcement that Mr. Jaitley made in the point 4 of his Navratnas that he gave today was that he said the government is keen on doing 10 public and 10 private universities to be converted into research and teaching universities of excellence. It's actually a takeoff from India 2's research and innovation bill, sort of labs.
Right.
But for the first time, you're hearing something where research is at the focus of higher education, so that we have less of the JNU type of discussions, more of the sort of discussions about why is India not producing more Nobel laureates or awards in research. To that extent, at least it's a statement.
But what the government also did on the flip side was they've taken away the benefit under Income Tax Act. It was right now 200% of R&D. Now they've reduced it to 150% and then to 100%.
Which was very stupid, right? Doing that is very, very stupid.
So you are discouraging once you are saying with universities you want to do more research and everything. The other thing you want to say is that also there should be public-private partnership in research. But you are taking away the benefit from companies. The Bible companies start spending on it.
Will it push the RBI to cut the rates tomorrow?
Sorry?
Will it push the RBI to cut the rates tomorrow?
Not really, I don't think so. I think they'll stick around with what is happening and they will not cut rates. Well, I don't think. Because if they cut rates and Janet Yellen decides not to increase rates, then what happens? On Thursday, there is a meeting. Where Janet, where the Federal
See, the
Reserve
point is this, Raghuram Rajan said that my roadmap will be the fiscal deficit targets.
Right.
And if Jaitley has pleased him by saying that I'm going to do 3.5% next year, so what's going to stop Raghuram Rajan from cutting the rates tomorrow?
I think what is going to stop is, this is all balance sheet dressing up, in my opinion.
Yeah,
Right.
that even Raghuram Rajan knows that.
Do you know what the defense budget this year is? Why was it not disclosed?
This has not been disclosed.
Yeah, this has not been disclosed. Do you know the numbers? So we really don't know how the maths is adding up. They've taken away that non-plan and plan expenditure. The revenue numbers have not come in, the expenditure numbers have not come in. I was checking up on the internet. All these figures are missing right now. So we really don't know what it is. 3.5% of what? The deficit is 3.5% of what? The GDP based on the new base.
Yeah, the new base.
The new base. So which is...
See, we have achieved 3.9% based on the new base.
Yeah.
Nothing else.
Yeah, that's about it. So we don't know. I don't think... I think if he cuts rates, it's good for the industry. People who've taken loans, it's good for them. Maximum 25 basis points will go down. 0.25%. Or do you think it will go as high as 50 basis points? I don't think so.
See, last year after the budget, Raghuram Rajan did cut the rates.
That was in September last year. He took 6 months.
No, after the budget, immediately after the budget.
Immediately after the, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that time also, Jaitley said that I'm going to stick to my fiscal deficit target, and Raghuram Rajan was saying before that, if the government decides to stick to the target, then we're going to cut the rates. And this time again the same message was conveyed.
So that will be good news for the industry if it goes by 25 to 50 basis points. That will be good because it will shore up their margins. I think anything's possible. But if I were Raghuram Rajan and I am not him, and maybe this is the reason I am not him, is that I would throw a tantrum and say, you got this new RBI Amendment Act, I will not cut rates. Go do what you want to do, okay? But typically that is, I don't know, that's a very difficult call to take today and find out, because the numbers are sadly missing from the
No, see, what Jaitley is doing is basically he is entertaining he's playing with the numbers, no doubt about it. But then, ultimately he's forcing Raghuram Rajan to cut rates because he has said what Raghuram Rajan wanted to hear, 3.5%.
I'm sure Raghuram Rajan has other meetings in his mind as well, and this is.
I don't know. One day he says
that
the GDP figures are doubtful. The next day he says they're perfectly fine.
So you know what is going on. So if we don't know if Jaitley wants the interest rates to be reduced, then he'll arm twist.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
is happening.
Okay. Next thoughts. Anyone? Yes, please.
And some of your earlier thoughts, but did you say that isn't there a service sector being brought under the same provisions for hiring new people or something like that?
It was more focused on manufacturing sector and make in India kind of impetus. That is what they were saying, that EPF thing. That was more driven from there.
Not the EPF.
Huh.
There is some for new recruitments.
Yeah, that was for EPF, where the government will share 3 years of their the employers'
Just the
cost.
EPF, or is there another?
I may have missed something else if there was.
Somebody
But
said there's something 90% of the new employee cost over 3 years.
no,
No,
impossible.
it's only EPF.
No, that's impossible for the government to put 90% of the employee cost. I would start
No,
at
no, as a
Product and
additional deduction.
manufacturing.
this is only they haven't defined that, but I thought it was only for manufacturing because they started with Make in India. Unfortunately,
Make in
how many
India-
IT people do you employ below 15,000 rupees anyway? You see,
No,
It's 25,000.
Lot of them.
Let not people hear that. Yeah.
It's 25,000, not 15,000.
No, 25,000 was another limit that he was talking about. 15,000 was the salary amount he was talking about. Workers that you hire for this EPF thing. 25,000 he was talking about something else. I missed out on that portion also because subsequently, after about 5 minutes, he talked about 25,000.
Service taxes, no increase in service tax.
Which is surprising that there is no increase in
No,
service
it's
tax.
hiked it by
because
0.5%.
0.5%.
0.5% is not 2%. No? We were expecting the base rate to move from 14% to 16%. Okay, that was one very wrong call that we made.
No, but if you were expecting that,
Yeah.
then there should have been a change in excise tax also.
Yeah, they would have
There's
been.
no reason to keep that.
So what they've done again is backdoor taxation. They've increased these cesses, they've increased these TCS and these kind of things they've brought in as a backdoor tax. Specifically so that they can say that we are anti-rich and pro-poor, pro-rural, anti-rich, we are taxing luxury items, we are taxing this and that. That is what they are trying to say. That is my opinion, that's what I feel.
See, there's introduction of another 6% tax on some B2B on the digital. What is that?
That is a TDS. So what used to happen currently is, and this is the situation our auditor sitting here can pretty much identify with, is when you advertise on Google,
Yeah.
right, as a company you advertise on Google, you are supposed to typically deduct TDS on it because you're making a legal and professional payment. 194J would apply if those of you are aware. But Google used to claim that we are an entity registered in US. This is provided without human intervention. So there were 2-3 clauses in a Supreme Court ruling, and as well as in a notification brought out by the Income Tax Department, which said that if these compliances are there, then no TDS is deductible. But now they are saying if payment is made for these purposes on a B2B basis, then 6% TDS is required, which is not bad, which is a good move, I would say. Yeah. Any thoughts? More thoughts? Where do you think the stock market is headed now?
I think if you can index graph slide,
Yeah.
it will give a lot of.
No. Graphs are.
Yeah.
With startup also, the condition is one, it has to be funded by a government recognized VC or
Yeah, so this whole issue of
So if someone wants to run on his own, then he doesn't get the benefit.
So there was another announcement that was made was that there will be no capital gains if the majority shareholder of a startup exits. There will be no capital gains if he does it to an authorized investor. What is an authorized investor? Tell me that. Which country do you have a class of authorized investors and unauthorized investors? I find it very surprising because everything you need Sarkari approval for, and then you say I am giving you ease of doing business. Are they not two contrarian mindsets? That is the point I am trying to make. Is there is the just by taking so today you say that you can file your service tax registration online. You don't need to go to the department. Fine, I don't need to go there. I do everything. But at the end of the day, I have to go and physically hand over the papers to the department. Whereas the departmental interaction ended, it is not. So that ease of doing business is only by moving things online for a particular process, but the process completion has to be completed through a physical interaction. That has not happened.
No, but okay, let's see the good point. The good point is that he has not been adventurously bad. Could have been worse.
Oh, it's coming. It's building up.
No,
It's building up.
But we should look at it because he didn't do too much tinkering. The only thing, I think the major miss is that there was no imagination at all. I mean, there's nothing where he can take these 100 million or whatever people to anywhere. So both in agriculture and industry, mark my words, even in agriculture, I know people who know agriculture more than me. I think it's going to be pretty silly there too.
So he's made some good moves in agriculture where he's set 20,000 crores for that irrigation fund and things like that. My notes are somewhere from the initial agriculture pit. I would have them here.
Double farm income in next 5 years basically. I
So
don't know
yeah,
how.
double farming income, which is very good.
5,500 crore for crop insurance.
So the other good thing is that 2.87 lakh crores aid to Gram Panchayat and municipalities, which is more than the sum of the last 5 years put together, which is like 80 lakh rupees are going to every Gram Panchayat this year.
For what?
To spend on the development of the Panchayat, for what? You and I both know for
Sort
what.
of leakage there.
So that's exactly I said to you. There is leakage, but that is what is going. So what are you doing? You are buying more votes, you are buying more loyalty. Right? Ultimately, I wouldn't want to say it in a public forum, but this is what you and I are going to think. I'm not going to sit there in a CI or a PhD or a SHM room over there and say these things. But Rahul Bajaj was very forthcoming today on NDTV. He was sitting with them. He vehemently disagreed with Sunil Bharti Mittal sitting over there, who was trying to sound very, politically correct. Rahul Bajaj, let them have it. Okay, so there is another 35,984 crores for farm sector and 5,000 crores for crop insurance. So the farmers have it pretty good this year.
What is double agriculture?
No, for farm sector and for crop insurance.
Farmers also, poor farmer might not be able to afford that also.
Yeah, so who gets this money? That is the whole point. The revenue leakages, we don't see any processes for plugging the revenue leakages, right? This Chula thing is 2,000 crores that they've given for.
So another thing, Charlie, here is that there was a mention of reach taxation. Big impediment has been removed, but there were some other impediments.
Yeah, so our friend Saurabh Tayal is not here. I think 2 of his prayers got answered or he went in petition to Jaitley. One is dialysis centers because he's into the kidney business. Okay, and the other is REIT because he's in the real estate business, and he was really pitching for these REIT things for the last 1.5 years. But yeah, there is no pass through, so which is the US model of the MLPs, right? That is where the individual investor, it will pass through. There will be no taxation till it reaches the individual. So you can layer yourself up with so many things and keep reducing the tax impact, and then you सब में खर्चे डालते जाओ.
Paying DDT.
No, there is no DDT also.
You will not need to pay DDT internally.
Yes.
But at the gross entity level.
Yeah, you will pay one
have
tax.
to pay tax, no?
Yeah.
Then when you get it,
Yeah.
you pay tax again.
Yeah, but you never get it now. So the way is to structure it. So that's where the big structuring organizations make money. That's how they do it. The big 5 or big 7 or big 10. That is what they do.
But
if the investor here doesn't get out of the company, then there is no REIT structure.
So the investor gets it out in a different way now. The investor doesn't do this. The investor is an overseas investor. So it probably comes through a Mauritius route or something as a recognized VCF. So there is anyways no tax over there. When you invest in a REIT, you will come as a as a VC or something recognized venture capital fund and get into a REIT. That's how you do it from Mauritius.
Then the other laws and all the property lies in India will catch.
No, it won't, because the property will not, you know how to move it. At that level you know how to, so this is really for the big boys. This is not for people like where you or me invest in, make a small REIT and, you know, invest 10 crores somewhere. That's not going to work. Right, okay, so let's look at the good, the bad and the ugly over here. What are the other points that I may have missed?
Two things.
Huh?
One, startups, do they have a minimum alternative?
Yeah, they will have a minimum alternate
They're
tax.
still 18% or
They're
20%.
still paying 18%. Yeah,
So
they're
which is
still.
not much of a difference. It's 10%.
No, 32%.
And what about SEZs? What is the policy? I heard some numbers about 2020 some. So are they phasing it out after 20 years?
Okay, so here is what is on SEZ was, sorry, I have to refer to my notes.
So they haven't removed the MAT on SEZs either, is it?
No, they haven't removed that.
Because they were saying they might do that this year.
New SEZs under 10 AA will be allowed till 31st March 2020.
Which means
That's what
they,
they said.
they want to phase it out. After.
Phase it out after 2020. That is what they
They
propose.
have to become operational by then.
Yes, they have to become operational by 31st March 2020. R&D cess will be R&D exemption will be 150% till 1st April 17 and 100% up till 1/4 2020. After that, it will totally go away or not, we don't know. There is no clarity on that. So there are.
So another question. Shekhar Gupta tweeted that I don't know about ease of doing business. There's definitely ease of paying tax, which in itself he says is fairly.
So it's very easy. You want to pay tax, you go online to your bank site and pay tax here. I think it is the most
He
convenient
said
thing.
that is a major reform. I didn't quite understand that. And he said the government
No,
has
so
to
what the
make-
government is saying is that there will be lower, they will want to reduce litigation, right? Where there are a lot of small taxpayers who are into litigation with the government, and they say that below 10 lakh rupees, whatever is the litigation, they have to settle it within 90 days. Otherwise, the officer will be responsible to answer as to why he is not settled in 90 days. I think that is one point, procedural points that they've come out.
And something about CIT appeal.
Yeah,
You
CIT.
cannot pay interest.
So it is 6% or 9%, and they say that if they don't settle it within 90 days, it will be 9%, and the officer who's delayed the will have to pay it from his pocket.
And there's no face-to-face audit. What does that mean? So they'll never call you to their office? Is that what that means?
I did not. I may have missed that. What is
Scrutiny,
also happened is the
scrutiny.
good thing is for professionals. Is professionals making less than 50 lakh rupees a year, you don't have to keep regular books of accounts now. Earlier you were supposed to, but if you're making less than, and for the other is
Then it's 50%.
presumptive
Yeah,
tax.
straight away 50% goes into tax. Then net income.
50% is your profit.
50% is your profit and
Profit
tax.
and 30% of that is your tax.
Tax,
So
sure.
15%.
Yeah. I mean, but
So
then
which is okay.
presumed tax is.
Presumptive tax is 15%, which is very high. Right? Under other similar sections, it is 8% or something.
Yes.
Right?
For,
It is about 8%, but 15% for profit. But anyways, professionals were paying a higher amount of tax because after a certain level, your expenses plateau out and your income
But
goes
then
up like this.
50 lakhs is already a plateau, no? So you have to come down from that.
Yes, absolutely. And the other thing they've done is for presumptive taxes, they've increased the turnover for no account from 1 crore to 2 crores, which is interesting. Mr. Nagar, you're headed there jokingly. So maybe in 2 years' time we can move to presumptive taxation. I didn't.
So here's another question about
Yeah.
Vodafone.
Yeah.
I read that Vodafone can simply pay whatever is due without paying any penalties and walk away. Do you think that's likely to happen? Because
No, that's why I said, why will they do it? Why will anyone do it? Yeah. So why will anyone ever do that? So they say if you want to go to the commissioner appeals or something, you can walk away without paying any. You just pay the tax. But why, if I'm in appeal, why will I want to do that? Because basically challenging the premise under which you're trying to ask me to pay tax. Which means that if I agree to that, I agree to your point of view, which is not correct. Right? So, but the Vodafone thing is not going to settle like this. And their promises and commitments, and why do they have to say it in every budget speech that retrospective taxation will go away? Where has it gone away? It is still there. Not gone away.
You mentioned about some international financial service centers.
Mumbai will be the place here.
That's the place.
That will where it will come out. See, as I said in my talk about 6 months ago, we are heading in a two-track economy. There is one north of Vindhyas and one is south of Vindhyas. All the development is coming south of Vindhyas, the south of Aravalis, you would say, not the Vindhyas. Aravalis. Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, Andhra Pradesh, Maharashtra, that is where it is coming, right? Sorry.
No, I'm happy. I said we should.
Yeah.
It's time for me to move back.
No, you are pretty much here. You can't move out of Mohali now, at least not until the next elections. October, which year? We decide the year. You decide the month. We decide the year. Okay. So, yeah.
So predictions of the stock market, any more vomiting camels?
Vomiting camels. So this time you notice that there are no vomiting camels. There are no puking hippos. There is no Loch Ness monster. Was that there are too much work. The market is not exciting. Yeah. But if you look at the graph of the stock market, it does look like a hedgehog. Right? That's the one I really loved. I tried to draw a hedgehog, but I failed. Sandy Bhargav over there. This one looks like a hedgehog, right? Tuck, 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 tuck over there. The Sensex is moving like a hedgehog. But typically, stock market, there are two gurus sitting over here. I mean, I am the wrong person over there. There is Rohit Sapra over there and there is Rahul Gupta over there. They are the, Rajneesh Sapra. Sorry, they are the two gurus of the stock market, and one is the guru of options and the other is the guru of individual stocks. And they say that index may go wherever, but our stocks keep winning. So maybe we need to hire them. Where do you think? Oh, because last time I remember Rajiv clearly saying that 23,000, between 20 and 23,000 is where we should be at the next budget, and that is where we are. Where do you think 6 months from now where it will be?
I think it's all converging with the global crisis which is building up because of the commodities. And that is one sector which you should avoid actually, the commodities. And whatever the fall has come in last 6 months is due to the redemptions from the sovereign funds. There are major redemptions happening. There are a lot of downgrades happening in the Middle East. So that is one of the places. That is one of the reasons, and that has to ease off. And as of now, the data is indicating that it is going to ease off in next 15-20 days. The redemption part from the sovereign funds. We are poised for a bear market rally. It can be a big bear market rally. Because sentiment is at the lowest, and the bear market rallies generally start from there only, when the sentiment is at the lowest. So I am expecting 10 to 12% rally on the Sensex, which can start, which may not start tomorrow, but then can start within foreseeable time. And
you are saying we'll be back to 26,000 level soon.
25 to 26,000, yes. But
in
see,
3 to 4 months.
That's the whole issue. In that rally, you want to get out of bad stocks. That should be the call.
How do you decide which is a bad stock?
The most beaten down stocks will rally the most. And that's the PSU banks and the commodities.
You think the banks will be able to withstand all the bad news that is coming out in terms of bad loans, and now Vijay Mallya also going to live in London now?
I think you got to be staying away from the PSU banks as an investment norm. There are good private sector banks which are still sustaining.
So Rahul, I don't know if you remember, IFCI used to be a very hot stock in 1994,
90s, yeah.
right? And today it's still languishing at what, 10, 12 rupees or something. It's never recovered. Do you foresee even the government tried to pump up, bring in capital, do everything with IFCI? It never recovered.
Yeah, the PSU banks will not recover. They will fundamentally not recover. For the simple reason, they are the biggest wealth destroyers now after 10 years. 2004, Bank of India was 75, and in 2016, Bank of India is 75 again. So you can imagine the kind of wealth destruction which has happened in PSU banks.
Rajneesh, sorry.
I think being more of a technical trader, from what I see of the chart, and as I see it, we are at the bottom right now. Or let me put it this way, we are at a strong support level.
Okay.
So hereafter, if things improve, if the market digests the budget and doesn't think that it was too bad, and because we've had a big bout of selling, so we might just see buying gradually emerge. If, however, that doesn't happen, whether and there is further selling that gets precipitated because of global issues or anything of that sort, then we are in for a really
Define
bad-
things improve. You said things improve. Wasn't today the day they were supposed to improve?
No, not necessarily.
Okay.
Not necessarily.
What would be the impetus you would need?
See, one is the fund flow and how that takes place, and there the central banks will play a role. So let's say if RBI comes up with a rate cut in a day or two, and the Chinese central bank has already
They cut their CRR today.
they cut their CRR, and if Bank of Japan does something and the ECB does something,
You know, in Japan, what they've done is they've got negative rates.
Yeah.
So the value, the price of safes has gone. With everybody storing cash at home, nobody wants to keep it in the bank.
and those.
So it would be a good idea to invest in Godrej.
No, the
safes.
most interesting part is the day the Japan central bank brought their rates to negative, the currency strengthened actually.
Yeah.
Instead of selling
It
off,
was
it
seen as a
strengthened
safe
by
haven,
12%.
Gold started strengthening. But
No,
gold has again
the
picked up.
most interesting part is the yen started strengthening.
Yeah.
And in fact, it was the bad news for the yen. In fact, yen should have actually sold off. It had actually rallied against the USD.
That is because the US was going to increase interest rates at that point in time, and people didn't think that the US would do that. So
I
US
don't think so.
became
US
unsafe
is going
in
to
that
hike
way.
rates.
US will not. Yeah.
They're not going to do that. They
Yes,
themselves are
Rajesh.
scared.
You were asking a question.
So I think one thing which is a hidden factor here, which I see like a hidden tax. Where does the INR go? So if you recall my 24,000 statement, I also said that the dollar is heading to 70. But now what? I think are we heading to 70 to 50 next 3 months?
Well, the Economic Times about 10 days ago ran this as a headline. Big Papa headed to 72 in 70th year or whatever year of independence that we are in. So, which was interesting because they are predicting rupee to be 72 now. So if that kind of depreciation happens in the currency,
That's a good fillip for the export sector.
yeah, what do we export? What do we make that we
The
export?
technology companies.
But that's about it.
Yeah, there's no
That forms a very important part of the syntax here.
Maybe, yeah, but at the end of the day, what do we export? I mean, look at the. Have you seen what did Arvind Subramanian say the other day that the FTAs we've not been able to export at all. We've just been importing with all the FTAs. So that means all the FTAs are now on the back burner, especially with the EU. We were negotiating the FTA free trade agreement with the European Union. That's on the back burner now. Unfortunately, we are not a quality-driven economy. We are not producing goods which are consumed abroad.
No, but
And we are services sector also, and I'm sure that we have a few IT people over here. The cost at which they are providing services, the gap, the margins are being squeezed
And
every year.
the other thing, obviously, the other currencies are actually low. So it's not, if you're only trading in dollars or selling in dollars, it's good. But then the pound is down, the AUD is down, Canadian is down. So
But even-
he's struggling from that.
But even in those countries, you can still do a dollar trade.
You can, but you
Stop
know,
the other thing.
Yeah, but your margins are getting squeezed because here the costs are going up in terms of
But
salaries, this, that, every
But
year,
typical hedging
10,
is-
12, 15% increase over there, and they are saying, oh, the dollar is getting cheaper, the rupee is getting cheaper, so for you the cost is not increasing, so we are not increasing.
No, but if there are existing contracts, it really doesn't affect the margins. Actually,
Yeah, if you
margins
are in a
going
long
up.
range contract, then it is fine, but if
Yeah.
your contract is like every 2 months or 3 months, then it's a bit of a
Of
challenge.
course, if it's quality plus the depreciation.
They have if it goes up
Yeah.
1% or something like that, then automatically.
They would have that. They would have a hedge over there. Yeah. So in terms of if the rupee depreciates even, I mean the rupee has been depreciating, right? It's gone from 59 rupees on 14th May 2014 to it's about 68 rupees today, right? Today 68.
68,
68. So that's about 9 rupees it has gone down. And what has that done to the economy? That has not been done. There is no export increase. There is no growth happening in
You
those
see,
terms.
there is a global turmoil which is happening. You know,
So
the
we
Middle
have to
East,
factor that in, right?
the Middle East is in trouble.
Middle East,
Like
yeah. if you're selling
Bahrain
the
got a
Aramco,
Bahrain got a
you are in
downgrade.
trouble.
So you see, even the banks are going to take a hit on the bonds. All these private sector banks who have exposure to these Middle East countries, they're going to take a hit on their bonds. So it's going to affect, definitely it is affecting. And the whole issue is this, that sovereign fund selling is coming to the end. That's the good part. Like,
Are you sure about that?
see, as of now, we're speaking to the fund managers who are sitting in Singapore and all, the redemptions are not coming anymore.
Okay.
So that's a good sign.
Sadly, I don't know if you addressed that or not, but at least at the IT and ITES space, I would say we are kind of back to the STPI days.
Okay.
Because, again, if you're a services business, you can still work around innovating and getting that interministerial thing back. And then you're in a domain where you're just paying MAT, 18%.
Is that good?
Yeah.
Yeah, obviously if
That's
you're
good.
exporting
Uh-huh.
and you're in services,
But what about service tax, which is now being loaded onto you? Earlier it was not there.
no,
It was always there.
it is always
It's
been
always
there.
there.
No, it
Place
was
of
not there.
provision of services.
During the STPI days, it was not there. No? 4 years ago, it was not
नहीं,
there.
अभी भी तो it's only under the place of provision of
Ops, yeah.
services,
Yeah.
but that's only if you're importing or if you fall under a scheme where your POPS is there, which is only 5% of the total.
The
or
day-
only anything that you're paying out.
The day some finance ministry mandarin decides that this is happening, they will take it away.
So it can't
Enjoy
happen.
it while it lasts.
See, the IT
No,
sector
I
has
know,
the risk
I know.
from Donald Trump now.
It won't happen. I'll tell you why it won't happen. Because this is the global VAT regime which comes under that. So it won't happen this way because those companies which are paying us are also paying VAT in their own domain.
Okay, so this
that's
is
what-
something I've not looked at, but this
Yeah.
seems interesting. So maybe going forward, if some IT companies can profit from it, why not?
Yeah.
So best is what's, I know someone who's not incorporated into a company, they're still a proprietary firm and they're in the IT sector. So for them, MAT doesn't apply.
No, it does.
Not
MAT
for an
applies
individual.
now. It does.
Not for
No,
an individual.
it
Not
does,
for an
it does.
individual.
It does.
No, not for an
100%
individual.
it does.
Individual.
It does. Pranab Mukherjee did that.
No, not for an individual. It is there for an LLP. MAT is only for LLP and a company. It is not there for.
I would differ. But we'll check it up. I would differ. I think it does.
Not even for firms. It is not there for firms.
Pranab Mukherjee ने कर दिया था.
Not for firms. It is there for LLPs, which was brought in 2 years ago, and for companies. MAT is only 115 JB is only applicable to MAT.
And also this startup India is you can only take benefit of that if you're a company incorporated.
You are not an LLP.
You can be an LLP or a company as per the startup, but आज वाला थोड़ा सा we'll have to check.
Yeah, so Ajwala is good news as well that
Over 5 years you can choose the 3 years.
which 5 years ago. Yeah. But how do you know next year whether you make a profit even being in business or not? Somebody will come and take, disrupt you and take your business away. You don't know that.
That's life.
Okay, gentlemen, last question. Any last questions?
So it's not the second one, so I'll ask one question. So,
Okay.
in terms of paying through credit cards, somebody talked about Google, right? You pay through credit cards, so how is the 6%? How do you?
So this is the crazy stuff that is going to happen is that how do you retain tax or how do you retain tax? So you will have to cross that up in your expense account and pay tax on the grossed up
So
amount.
we have to pay.
You will have to pay, yeah. And now the other story that came up was the PAN number story for non-residents where you have to deduct 20%. Now they come back and say, okay, or other appropriate document. What is an appropriate document?
वो उनका वो नंबर जो होता है ना
PIO.
their number their
यार हिंदुस्तान में ये आदत है हम किसी का डिन नंबर ले रहे थे और उसका पासपोर्ट नंबर उस कंट्री का था एंड इंडिया में से एक सेम पासपोर्ट नंबर किसी और का होगा उसको इशू हो गया डिन कहते जी इसको डिन इशू ही नहीं हो सकता इसका सेम पासपोर्ट नंबर है इस पे तो हम इशू कर चुके ये हालत है तो अगर वो सेम पैन नंबर निकल आया तो आप क्या करोगे बोलेगा यहाँ रेसिडेंट है वहाँ नॉन रेसिडेंट है अगर किसी कंट्री की सेम स्कीम हुई तो possibility exists, you know.
PAN पे आज कुछ have they said something today on PAN on
Regarding?
on credit card?
No, nothing.
So that was a miss actually. That was a very big miss. they were building up to electronic payment. They could have easily, made
Digital
it,
payments on. Yeah.
rather than saying this TCS 2 lakh business, this could be a positive
Yeah, they could
spin
have.
to.
They could have said that if you make a digital payment or through a Paytm wallet or through a
you
Airtel
get
wallet or
some
something,
credit,
some
some
kind of
credit.
thing. And you know what I can do is I can easily go and pump that Paytm wallet by buying 20 different cards of 5,000 rupees each and uploading them. So I've uploaded 1 lakh rupees into my payment account and then I go and pay with that. Nobody's going to ask me a question, right? That could have been possible, but they sadly missed that one.
But that leaves a digital trail anyways, यार. I mean,
Yeah, it's a digital trail, but you डाल दिए मेरे को क्या पता कौन डाल गया मेरे क्या करूँ?
वो तो अभी यार shopkeepers what are they doing? They just write any PAN number and issue a bill. So what do you do with that?
Sir, I'm going to hire you as a consultant. I'm sure there are enough people. So in Delhi, you can get a whole database of fake PAN numbers that you can buy and put into the bill. You know. So these white goods manufacturers, these jewelers, all of them are having that problem with that circular number 95 of 2015, which is about 2 lakh rupees in cash. Yes, that is the dangerous one.
If that double taxation agreement, the PAN number requirement can be a very big benefit.
It should.
Because
I mean,
it's
this
a
was
pain in the neck.
See, this was exactly what we were talking about in DTC. This is exactly what we were talking about in GAR. This is called treaty override. How can you treaty override? You cannot, as a sovereign nation, when you've entered into a treaty with another country, how can your parliament pass a law and override that? That means you no longer recognize that treaty. So this was a big anomaly that was happening, 20% tax, withholding tax. And there are some companies which were paying that tax on behalf of the foreign entity, and it was a cost to you. As
The
a
foreign
business,
entity
which is pretty much the question you are asking. So if you pay by credit card to Google, how does it work? The 6% TDS.
It basically means you buy from India, make in India, you cannot use any, which means that.
No, you can, but then you pay that. So instead of 100 rupees as an expense, you pay 106 rupees as an expense and calculate 6% on that and
So
deposit
it
it.
becomes more expensive.
Yeah, it becomes more expensive for you.
And a bigger problem to manage with the income tax person is. So the ease of doing business is not really come down, according to understand it.
So if they take something away, they give you back in some other way, right? Yeah, you had one more question. You said that's the second last question.
No.
Amarveer just walked in, all dressed up in a lovely green tie. Green shorts. I know. You called me earlier.
And just to complete what
Sorry.
what I was saying about the technical view
Yeah.
on the stock market. I mean, as supports go, if this doesn't hold, which it should hold, but if it doesn't hold, which will probably happen only if there's a global sell-off, then we are looking at much lower levels. Below
You know the
6,000
best screenplay, the first Oscar that went this morning, The Big Short.
Big Short.
So I think we are headed there. I'm
If you
a
think so, then
big believer in that. I just finished reading the book about 3 months ago. And The Big Short, I haven't seen the movie, but it's pretty much. And having
So
studied a bit
we're
on
looking
that.
at somewhere around 5,500 on the Nifty.
Okay, you're a niftier. I'm not a niftier. I'm
Sub 20,000 level sense.
I'm a Sushmita Sen believer. So
That's about 20%
Yes.
lower.
So I would say that the call is between that we are taking here is between 21,000 and 25,000 in the next 6 months. That is the range that we are working in. Bullish 25,000, bearish 21,000.
Where should be much lower? I mean, if there is
Much lower, okay.
That's what he's saying.
Just after the
17,000.
anti and made it lost a lot more. Okay, one last question I have for you is how difficult will it become for us to raise capital? Nobody's talked about investment or creating investment. In fact, they've taken that away by reducing your depreciation allowances and investment allowances.
Actually, that could have been something which we could have put in for a future investment, give a future incentive. That's actually
So
what
that
was
is what,
missed out.
that is totally, so will raising capital become more difficult, and especially for startups with what is happening with Flipkart for the last 2-3 days? How does that factor into venture capital funding for startups and things like that? Because a lot of focus is on startups right now in the country. Does that become difficult? Who's doing the thank you note? Me, I'm doing it. Arnyan is doing it? Okay, thank you Arnyan. Yeah. So quickly, we wind up in 2 minutes. So, personally, what do you see? Because
No, I don't know. So angel investing, I'll tell you, if and I found it really bizarre, but if you actually invest in a company angel investor, it is seen as an income. So it is
Yeah, it's a
taxed.
tax. Yeah, angel tax. So that's not been taken away. So that is what we've been talking about.
This is really bizarre.
Angel tax. Yeah, it's called the angel tax. And he had promised to take it away. So it is all these things. You go to these great, events in Sydney where people are saying Modi is the rock star and this and that, and then he goes and talks about these things that we'll do away with Vodafone and we'll do away with angel tax. And then nothing happens on the ground. So there is this huge disparity, and which is not a very happy thing. Guru, in spite of your being a firm believer in looking at things in the positive, what do I see here that is positive over here for me? Really, as a country, as a nation, I don't see anything positive, and really as an individual, I don't see anything that is positive. Unfortunately.
You were saying, adventures even worse.
So if you look at it, every cloud has a silver lining.
So that people not doing tinkering, shrinking, which usually they keep on doing. So that's one thing. See the railway budget. I would say, let's see the railway budget as a precursor to this. The railway budget was much more forward-looking. That let the pie grow bigger, and we'll.
That's the difference between a chartered accountant and a lawyer. Basically, I'd end it over there and say, ki, Suresh Prabhu is a chartered accountant, and sorry Jitin, but that guy's a lawyer. I'm a lawyer too. So
I think what's gone right is those clarification on these income tax appellate aspects.
Yes, they've tried to make a move over there, but my point
And
is
clarifying the fact that the penalties will be categorized into misdemeanors.
Yes.
I mean, that's a big pain. I mean, I've not gone through it
Again,
personally.
That will not be so great.
sorry,
The fine print
sorry,
will
but
not be so
yeah, exactly. It will be subjective.
Very subjective.
It will be subjective. The problem is you take away the subjectiveness, then I'm fine with it. You say it's monetary up to 5 lakh rupees, it's a misdemeanor. 5 to 10 lakh rupees, it is that. Huh?
Misdemeanor of not on getting it wrong on paying the tax.
Whatever. I'm saying you categorize it financially and you put those benchmarks, I'm fine with it. But the moment you make it subjective, we have this great guy, chartered accountant, who's about 80 years old, called Mr. Girish Ahuja. He comes and holds a session every year, and he'll be speaking in the next 2 to 3 days. And what is going to happen is, he comes in, always states this line, and this guy can quote the Income Tax Act from 1965 onwards, extempore. And he comes and says, as a chartered accountant, Act mein kya likha hua hai? To the satisfaction of the assessing officer, and you all know how to satisfy the assessing officer. So that's how the story.
उसमें भी वो कहता है कि those e-notices or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. I'll give you an example. We've got an e-notice, and when you go and talk to the income tax officer, he says, "ये तो कोई notice आया नहीं हुआ आपका, आप क्या करें?" There is such, disparity between the e-system and what is happening on the ground level. These things. That's why I said you come up with a fancy thing like BEPS. You start talking about implementing BEPS in India. Are you ready for it? A first world concept and the third world implementation mindset don't match up. That's my belief has always been like that.
So where do we see 25% corporate tax here?
Never. For that you probably need to move somewhere.
But he's removing the exemption.
I can tell you where you can see 21% is UK, and 5% in Singapore, and 0% in Dubai.
No, but for fresh manufacturing companies, which means fresh software development companies, still is 20%.
Provided if you don't take certain benefits.
Accelerated benefits.
So, but ठीक है ना, फिर depreciation का benefit नहीं लो, ये नहीं लो, वो नहीं लो, सब कुछ चला गया.
Eventually the asset will depreciate.
At the end of the day, you will eventually now, but you see, look at that possible what is going to happen over there. When you do your maths, it should not be a very big difference between paying at 29% plus surcharge plus cess at
25.
25 and 29 now. If you are less than 5 crore, 29. So the number of tax slabs have gone up. Yes, Aryan, your moment in the sun. He's going to give us a vote of thanks. You need a mic for that, I think. No, we need to have you on the mic. You've got such a nice voice.
Coming to the, so there were two big losers of the day, the budget and our team, The Martian. Our team would like to now present a pre-prepared Oscar-inspired thank you speech. Big shout out to Paul Singh for his artwork, to Mohit Gulati, Kumara Guru for helping out on social media, to family and friends for being supportive and bearing with Chatty sir's Martian mood swings, to Weber for not being distracted during his honeymoon, to Rishabh Nagpal for recording this event, to Rajesh Sharma for adding the Jugaad for the webcast, to Anand Puri, Manish Pilati and others who inspired us to put this on YouTube, and finally a huge round of applause to Sameer Jain and Net Solutions in believing in us and letting us hold this event. Thank you.
Thank you, and next year, I thought I would say this at the end of this year, but I think I'll say it at the end of next year. We probably move to a football stadium pretty soon. You know, the numbers keep increasing. All our Reliance, you remember that, right? Yes, I hope so. I hope so. You invert the chart, it was really nice. Come and invert it. Thank you.